Hello, I am Catastrophe and Pete here. Today's topic we shall be discussing the most controversial ethnic and racial relations in Merica. Now, we all know the elephant in the room, the slavery, civil rights, and then the recent police shootings and shit like that. And then, of course, then there's the Black Lives Matter reaction to it, and then it just creates, a fucked up cycle of tensions, pretty much to the point where I can almost see a fucked up, like, race war per se, or like a civil war. One side is backed by,
So a race war?
well, not, hopefully not. Not literally. I don't fucking know. It would.
Wouldn't it literally be a race war if the topic's race?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know. Now, personally, I don't believe, in the whole entire, social justice definition of racism where power plus prejudice. I think that's stupid. I think it takes out the individual as a person. Someone's character, should be judged by the actions they do over, their fucking ethnicity or gender. Simple as that shit. And I know, harder to believe, especially when we're a pattern-seeking species that makes generalizations. And it's up to us as individuals to try to look past that. Like, there's this guy called Minnesota Boy. He's an asshole. Under his own merits and stuff. Oh, he's this. He's a black supremacist guy or whatever. And I tried to have a conversation with him. Okay, so what's like? I get from like a historical perspective why you're hostile. I don't understand like your personal like perspective on why you're hostile. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, sorry, I was listening. I was looking for bags.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Anyways, but there were, I've been watching some of his vids. While I disagree, fuck, people because of their ethnicities and shit like that, I do agree with some things that he brought up. Well, for example, okay, there is a systematic form of, like, I guess you could call it, racism or whatever.
Systematic racism.
It's real, but I think the source is, from a different, it's from a different source. I think it's the freaking like Democratic Party, that wants to keep them on the welfare system. And basically, if you think about it, the modern day cotton that they're picking are simply their votes. You know what I mean? They keep them in these shitty ass, dependable ghettos, low education, high crime rate, because they're the party of the poor. Yeah, well then, yeah, give a fake promise of change, basically by increasing more, federal government aid and stuff like that, rather than encouraging them to be entrepreneurs and all that shit. So it's not really, it's not their fault that they're in, it's the fucking Democrats and stuff. Yeah, well, of course the system's broken. And of course, this is a big time controversial one. That's why I'm voting for Trump to break the system. Just burn it. Burn it to the ground, start from scratch, and hopefully learn from the fucking past.
That probably means a lot of people are going to die if we're burning them.
Okay, yeah. Well, what else? People are dying right now,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't want one of those people to be me, though.
Yeah. Well, neither me. I don't know. I don't know. Well, what else do we have here? We vote for Hillary. It's just 4 more years of this slow, stagnant shit that creates more tensions, between genders, ethnicities, religions, and all this shit. And next thing you know, that's why I'm saying we've got some fucked up like civil war brewing up. Just about like 10 years ago, a simple disagreement on a topic was simply that, a disagreement. But nowadays, people have been, they've been taught to make politics so personal, that a simple disagreement is equivalent to a fuck you, basically, and then in their minds, it's equivalent.
No, I've seen you get that way with some things.
Oh, yeah, even I've fallen for that shit. Yeah.
Me too. Everyone
I know. It's up to
human nature.
Yeah.
Human nature to get emotional about dumb things that we shouldn't need to get emotional
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, and I do agree. By the way, we do need like a reformation on the police system, like body cams and shit like that. So that way they won't go around and be fucking assholes. I mean, like someone, I'm not even gonna name who but basically says that his sheriff was purposely just fucking around with him for the hell of it. Like he would come to his house and he would basically he would say that, hey, I noticed that the new county signed this document or whatever, but the reality is he just pulled him out just to fuck with him. And of course, can't do anything about it, because if you do, then it's assault, or if it's resistance of arrest or some shit like that. Yeah.
They have authority over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also like that psychology study where they locked two groups of people up in a prison.
Oh yeah.
One group be the guards, one group be the prisoners. The guards were beating all the prisoners within a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's human nature for you.
Well, I don't know. We've got problems, but I guess the real question is, are there any solutions? That doesn't have to resort to anyone having to be killed. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Look at history.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty
We are, but if you do look at history, also we've been in a time of peace longer than we ever have in history. Like, for relatively how small the wars are going on in the world right now, we're actually quite peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope we can try to keep it that way.
Yeah, no.
At least for our generation, at least. Or try to, I don't fucking know. I still wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna have kids. No. Fuck that shit, no. World will be completely fucked up by then. Nah. I don't know. Anyways, from whomever, whatever, if you've got any critiques or questions or anything, because I'm actually out.
Ideas
well,
you finished the topic.
Well, yeah. It was just race relations and shit. And
just wanted to talk about your ideas on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think this shit is, I don't know, it's really gotten so bad. I know it's human nature, to be tribalistic when there's danger and shit like that. Yeah. I know it's something I've seen. We've read up in social psychology and stuff. The more tense people are, the more the more irrational and shit like that. I've been through
a tense time right now.
Exactly, we're in a
really tense time.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, we've got the shootings in Dallas, the unarmed assistant of that autistic guy.
Within our lifetimes, we went from one school shooting to almost like school shooting a week.
Yeah.
Within our lifetime, we went to that.
Like a decade, actually. Yeah. It was just a single fucking decade. And I think it increased after 2007, actually. Yeah. Fuck. What a time to be alive, kids. Well, this is the world we have, and I don't know. And as far as guns, again, we do need, restrictions and shit. Not an outright ban, you know what I mean? But, treat it like a fucking car license, Keep people that, have, heavy schizophrenia or, shit like that, or criminal. I know, it's naive because then.
Yeah, no. I was going, because this feels so great right now. So.
Oh, okay. I know it's naive because there's always a black market, criminals are.
But it also, if you think about it, if you cut the supply, you raise the demand for it in black markets. So the price becomes higher on those weapons because the supply of them isn't there anymore. They don't have the supply. They still have the same demand.
Yeah.
So suddenly the price of all those guns go up.
Yeah.
They saw that happen in the Australian black market when they outlawed guns. Suddenly, a rifle was almost $20,000.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go the Australian route, outright banning them.
No, it's not straight out like that.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
That's also, but I'm using it as an example of how the prices on the black market will go up.
Yeah, okay.
If you get rid of the supply.
Well, I mean, these shooters are from are these what? They're these usually middle class.
It's an economy. It's a black market. So it still functions by the same rules of a normal economy, just with different things.
Well, just outside of the law and shit like that.
So, take away the supply. What happens?
What happens, we would probably wind up like Australia right now and then have a fucked up refugee crisis is what would happen.
I'm not talking about taking the guns all away. I'm asking if we get more stricter laws that gets the supply.
Hopefully less fucked up retards like who is the Dark Knight shooter?
I don't know.
Well, people like him would.
Don't even say his name.
Yeah, you're right. Someone, whatever. You're right. I can't. I don't wanna. Anyways, I agree with Pete here. Yes, it would increase the price in the black market, hopefully decreasing the likelihood of some.
Well, no, that wouldn't. Think about it. The more expensive it is, the harder to come by it is. How many of those street shooters do you think will be able to afford a already $20,000 rifle?
Yeah, that'd be
on the black market for $50,000. How many people could afford a rifle that's $50,000?
Very few.
Exactly.
But there is, but see, I've heard
that lowers the likelihood of one of those people actually doing it because it's a harder goal to attain.
That's true, but then I have I don't know.
If they actually do it, you have to give them props because you're like, oh, they really wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Because think about it, they saved that much for a gun. I mean, I know nothing about gun prices, but this is just an example.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about, what I've heard the counter arguments against it, though. You know what I mean? Like Chicago, that's got, heavy gun, Well, no, I know. Exactly, yeah. We need, everyone needs a fucking pistol, to defend themselves and shit. If there's well, okay, not everyone, but you know what I mean. In the downtown Sac area, there's always a crazy motherfucker that wants to just, rob you and shit like that, Or
always called it South Sacramento, Baghdad.
Yeah, exactly. Or fucking Oakland, man. People living in Oakland, I've seen a video of a random dead body in the street. No one did anything. They just drove past it. That's how fucked up that place is. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, right now, as I said, Australia, there's an increase, fucking crime and shit going on because of the refugee crisis. Because I'm sorry, these are fundamentalist. These are religiously fundamentalist people. Okay, these are fundamentalist Islam and all that shit. And I'm talking about fundamentalist Islam, the ideology. It's not a people. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not ethnicity. It's not a race. It's not a gender. It's not something you're born with. It's something that is carried through your mind that you can abandon if you retain new information. I know, it's... Anyways, this has been very controversial stuff I've been talking about, and that's all I can really think of or say at the moment. Okay. All right. Well, anything else you can say, Pete?
No, I'm going to bed.
All right. Well,
I'm done. I'm out. This is over.
Yeah.
Today does not exist anymore.
Yeah. And tomorrow...
turns off and the universe doesn't exist. So
sweet, and tomorrow is tomorrow. Hooray.